Hello, and today's video we're going to be talking about why you guys need a manager as an artist, a band or whatever. So why do these artists need to have like managers and that? Can't they just like represent themselves? Well, the actual reason they need a manager is the band or the act has become big enough now that they can't manage themselves. So you bring a manager on to manage your business for you, because at the end of the day what you're doing is a business. Now if you don't understand it, as in you're struggling to understand the business side of the music industry and all this, the idea is to bring on someone that does. So this person then, the manager, would manage the business for you, allowing you to get on with what you want to actually get on with, which is create music and perform. It takes a lot of the hassle out for you. Well, isn't it a lot of money to have a manager? Like, how are they meant to pay these guys? Well, granted, yes, having a manager is expensive, but you're not going to be paying them thousands of pounds up front or dollars up front, because the way management works isn't you pay them a lump sum for the year, because at the end of the day, the manager works for you. As an artist, the manager is working for you, so the way it actually works isn't you pay them, shall we say, £200 per month. What happens is a manager would take 10% or between 10 to 20% of the revenue that you bring in. So this would be a contract between you as the artist and a manager for how much you would get. Normally it's between 10 to 20%, and then normally as you get bigger it actually decreases their percentage. So for example, Adele's manager is probably not earning 20% of her income, is probably earning 10%. So let's put it this way, you do a gig and you get paid £100 for that gig. Doing it this way because it's easy maths. Then the manager, for setting up that gig for you, as in getting you booked onto that, would be getting paid £20 for that performance, when you as the artist take home 80%. So you're not paying them huge amounts of money up front. What you're doing is they get a percentage of your earnings, because at the end of the day the manager works for you as the artist. So do the managers like just manage that particular artist, or do they look after anyone else as well? Well, it's a good question asking whether or not they just work for you or do they manage other people. And yes, some managers will just manage one act and others will manage multiple acts. Just depends on whether or not what's happening with that manager. Now, from a manager's point of view, you want to be managing multiple acts because you increase your revenue streams. So that's why a manager might be managing more than one artist. Now, some bigger artists will just be the only client that a manager has. Just depends on the manager. So say I'm looking for a manager then, just, how are the artists meant to, or bands meant to, like, find these managers then? Well, you can find a manager like in multiple different ways. A good way is look for a management company, because then they'll have experience, already got the contacts. And the other way is your friends. I know plenty of people that manage bands for their friends, because they know the bands, they're a fan, and it just ends up being that way. It just depends on how you want to proceed about it. Now, a good way is definitely getting in contact with a management company, but sometimes you have to get to a big enough stage for them to want to take you on. So what happens if these artists then want to change like management to a different management like company or manager? What happens then? Okay, so this is yes, when you decide to change management, say you're going from your friend managing you to a management company, it gets really complicated and you need to really get involved with lawyers and such, because what's really going to happen now is it's complicated. So playing it bare, manager's contract will probably state that a good management contract, I would say, would state that this is a scenario that could happen, and what would happen would be, for example, for 5-10 years after you've left that management, they will still earn that, I should say, 5% or 10% of the revenue from the work that you did with them. So let's say, as an example, with that manager that you were working with, you released 2 albums while they were managing you. And they will, for 5 years to 10 years afterwards, still earn a certain percentage of the revenue from those albums because they put the work in to help them run. But any of your new work will be paid out to your new manager. So it gets really complicated, but we'll go more in depth in this in a later video, I think. So you're telling me that they need to be hiring a manager because, what? They need to basically look after everything for these guys and manage their business? Because you're saying that what they're doing as a musician is a business at the end of the day. So yeah, what I'm saying is, as the artist gets bigger, yes, they do need to get a manager. Anyway, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Catch you next time.